this pad work.
Some people do want it. I'm gonna get my thoughts second. First, EBT, let me know your thoughts on the fight. What you think happened during the fight, and what you think, and what's your thoughts on the rematch?
Man, before I even do it, something I gotta feel. I don't know if I feel guilty even talking about this fight, but let me just say, I think this fight showed us a lot. It showed us pad work. Just because your pad work look good, don't mean it translates to boxing. Okay. Because Woodley was looking very good on the pad, but it didn't really translate. Woodley was just another UFC, another MMA fighter trying to box. Although he was way better than Ben Askren and the other ones. But it also showed that the point that I've been trying to make, that Jake Paul isn't really a real pro boxer. And I think that showed at this time. He's really around that D plus, C minus, being generous, that level. That's almost the level of a retired MMA fighter trying to box. He's really along that. But hey, that's still impressive for a YouTube vlogger. That's good. But he's not at that pro level, and he should not even utter the name Canelo Alvarez. So that proved that. But this type of fight, it kind of just put you in a weird place, because I didn't understand why Tyron Woodley, I think everybody said this, when he knocked Jake Paul through the ropes, why didn't he just take him out then? I don't understand I really don't understand what was going through his head. He just stopped punching. He could easily had him out there. Another right uppercut, that'd have been game over. Game over. Don't understand why he didn't do it. Like I said, I don't actually mind seeing a rematch, because just why not? It was entertaining for a little bit. See him, Jake Paul get knocked to the ropes. I think Jake Paul would lose again. Well, he would lose this time. I don't really have an opinion on any type of robbery, whatever, but I think Jake Paul would lose, because maybe Tyron Woodley's probably figured him out. Even Tyron Woodley probably trained a little bit better this time, and he couldn't risk getting beat twice. So I don't mind. And people say, Jake Paul, it's time for you to fight a real boxer. Not really, though. Because think about this, if you're saying Jake Paul should fight a real boxer, a pro, it's because you're considering Jake Paul a pro. Jake Paul's not a pro, therefore he shouldn't fight pro. Jake Paul, you showed his competition level is right with that Tyron Woodley type area. That's his competition level, and that's who he should fight. He should not be fighting pro fighters. And so, let's make that clear. But I think in regards to the fight, Tyron Woodley could have easily just stopped. He could have had that in the bag. That knocking through the ropes, that could have been it. Why he rated anything like that? And I feel like, although Jake Paul, it wasn't really it wasn't a dominant fight. You can see that automatically. It definitely was not a dominant fight. Jake Paul clearly, he won by points, but he didn't dominate the fight. And I think it showed that this is his skill level around his UFC level. Like I said, I don't mind a rematch, man. It's all entertainment, because these are not real fighters, and it's kind of good. And I think Jake Paul would lose, especially after being knocked through the ropes. I think Tyron Woodley would really. I think if he was smart, he would definitely use this opportunity. He couldn't lose twice to Jake Paul, but at least he didn't get knocked out or knocked down or stunned or hurt really like that. So. And some people even argue Tyron Woodley won this fight. I mean, I don't know what you think. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, some people think Woodley won the fight. I'm going to get my thoughts in a minute. I want to ask you one more question before I get my full entire thoughts on that last fight and the rematch and the question I'm going to ask you right now. Do you feel like Tyron Woodley exposed Jake Paul?
Yeah. Exposed some good stuff and some bad stuff.
That's true, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, he did show that Jake Paul, because it kind of did show that Jake Paul, he's not a YouTuber. Okay, he's not a YouTube level fighter. He does have some kind of he does demonstrate some type of boxing skills. I mean, it's small, but I did see an overhand right from Jake Paul connected, and he did simultaneously, evade the punch. That was good. It showed that, it showed maybe he has a chin. You can't train a chin. He was able to take that punch from Tyron Woodley, although he did go through the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
He showed that, hey, he can take a punch. He's not gonna fold, although maybe it didn't because he didn't go through the ropes. But it also did prove he's not a pro level fighter, because pros would have easily dismantled Tyron Woodley. Mayweather could beat Tyron Woodley right now, and Mayweather's old. Nobody's saying Jake Paul is even remotely close to Mayweather. I'm just saying, name some pro fighters around that weight class could easily beat Tyron Woodley. If you're supposed to be that much of a pro, he should have dismantled Tyron Woodley, but he didn't. So it proves that Jake Paul, this is his level of fighter. That's D plus to C minus, like I said, the equivalent of a retired MMA fighter trying to box. That's his skill level. So all this, go fight a real pro fighter. I don't really think he should, because he's not a pro himself.
I mean, my whole thing is he could fight one of them one of them fighters, like you can fight Tommy Fury, shit, one of them little.
He'll get killed.
Prospect. I don't know about that. I think Tommy Fury. I'm not even talking about that though, because I think Tommy Fury. I think he's a little overrated. But as far as
I'm saying, but he beat Jake Paul.
That's a whole. I want to say something about that, but we're gonna get off topic. Okay, okay. I do feel like Tyron Woodley. One thing he exposed about Jake Paul is, I feel like Jake Paul, on the other hand, he was completely spent, man. If that was a 12-round fight or even a 10-round fight, Woodley probably could have got Jake Paul up out of there, man. Jake Paul. Another thing I give Jake Paul, he did show heart, man. Cause he showed a little adversity in that fight. Because Tyron Woodley, he kind of disgusts me a little bit, man. Because Tyron Woodley had so many opportunities to basically stop Jake Paul, man. Jake Paul was hurt. Jake Paul, if it wasn't for the ropes, that would have been a knockdown. But the thing about Tyron Woodley, I feel like he was so concerned with not getting knocked out. I feel like Tyron Woodley did not want to get knocked out. I feel like he was cool with just saying, okay, at least you didn't knock me out. Instead of, he was so worried about getting knocked out himself that it prevented him from getting a knockout or even knocked down, Tyron Woodley just didn't throw enough punches, man, to win this fight. I didn't think he won the fight. I thought maybe if you would have gave him that knockdown, you count that knockdown, now you talking a different story. Do I want to see a rematch though? Let me say one before I get to the rematch. Let me say one more thing about the actual fight. Even though Jake Paul looked really tired though, man. Is it just me or am I tripping? Did you see that?
No, I saw it too, man. It's because he's not used to going that long.
Right.
12-round fight, he would have definitely lost.
Hell yeah, man.
He was just ran out of gas. But he's not used to ever fighting that long, man. That's the problem.
Yeah, man. I think Tyron Woodley, on the other hand, I really feel like Tyron Woodley, he surprised me because he's the older fighter, and it's like he had a little more win than. Well, he didn't really do shit, so of course he's gonna have more win. But I was just shocked about how tired Jake Paul looked, because you would think like Jake Paul with all the because I know he trains really hard. And that little stuff that he does with the guy, it looks gay as hell. When he's basically on top of his foot or whatever. I thought that was supposed to do something. I'll show you it later on. It's something that he does with some guy. It's supposed to be like, I think it works on your conditioning, stamina, or something along those lines. Maybe a mental aspect, whatever. But I never thought he would look that tired. I was sitting there like, man, if Woodley attacks Jake Paul with some type of force and stop worrying about getting hurt with that right hand, Jake Paul can go to sleep right now, man. Jake Paul is in there looking like he's just ready to hear the bell. Yeah, he has his poker face on, very good, but he is tired, man. So,
and here now you understand why people think stuff is suspect, man.
Yes. Yeah, no, I understood. I been understood that, but it just shocked me. If Woodley would have stepped on the gas and put everything on Jake Paul, especially in that 7th round, Jake Paul was spent. I'm sitting there looking like, wow, Jake Paul looks tired, man.
I'm not subscribing to any conspiracy theories or anything like that. But now can you see why people think this stuff can be rigged? I'm not saying it was. But you're supposed to hate Jake Paul so much. You're supposed to have all this type of beef. You know, they talked about your mom. You're supposed to have all this hate in your heart. You knock him on the ropes. And you have an opportunity to end his career. And you just don't even throw no punches. But you're supposed to hate him though, right?
Right.
You're supposed to hate this man so much. Oh, I can't wait till I get in the ring. But you get him on. You knock him on the ropes. He is on his last leg, and you just stop throwing punches. That's why everything looks sus, bro. That's why people, go around saying it's rigged and everything. And there's a clause in the contract saying you can't knock nobody out. Because who does that? You're supposed to hate the man so much. I don't know. This is somebody I ain't like talk about my mom or whatever. And you get an opportunity to box and everything. You can end his career. You knock him on the ropes. That's your time, and you just don't throw no punches. And Tyron Will he's a combat artist. I mean, he is a fighter. You're supposed to know to go for. I mean, I really don't understand how you could have thought he could have been scared to get caught because Jake Paul was on the ropes. Ain't no counter he can do when he's on the ropes, almost unconscious.
No, I disagree. I disagree with that. I definitely disagree with that. Jake Paul threw a couple. It's called playing possum. Like you're playing a possum, act like you tied on the ropes, and then you'll sneak that right hand in there. He did that a few times, man, to Woodley. And I really think
not this time though, not that time, bro.
You talking about when you talking about when he caught that
knocked through the ropes.
He definitely he couldn't do shit. Like you right about that. I'm surprised he didn't go in there and just jump on fucking Woodley right there.
Mike Donna type stuff, bro.
Yeah, he's supposed to jump on it.
Punches and bunches. He would have leaped on down for sure.
I agree.
And this is supposed to be a person you hate. This is supposed to be a person you can't stand. You want to knock out. We talk about your mom, and it's just to sell the fights, bro. That's what I really believe. They try to sell the fight, then it's really whatever when they get in the ring. Maybe they go for it, maybe they don't. Maybe they give an exciting fight, maybe they don't. But it's really just to sell these fights.
I mean, you never know when it comes down to this Disney shit, man. But I will say this though, when it comes down to the rematch, I think Woodley will let his hands go a lot more.
Yeah, he would have to because he can't. People really got on him for that, and I think he couldn't just go and do the same thing again. That would really look bad.
Yeah, it looked real bad. But I do feel
he's on a losing streak too.
Yeah, he's on a five loss. Well, I say one loss because this is boxing. I don't I say he's on a 1 loss losing streak in my opinion. But I feel like Woodley, he did some good things in spurts, man. Even though he didn't win, a lot of people thought Woodley wasn't gonna see the 8th round. He did. Woodley never even got hurt. It was never a point in the fight where it looked like Woodley was in serious trouble. So I let you know, Woodley do got a chin, and I feel like Woodley that could bring some confidence towards Woodley when it comes out to this rematch. And Woodley will go in there and he'll let his hands go a little more. But I will say this about Jake Paul, man. I feel like Jake Paul, he was just depending on one punch. And I think Jake Paul could have been overlooking Woodley too because he was saying, I'm gonna knock him out in the 1st or 2nd round. Like, hands down. Like, it was no question. And then, as you can see, I feel like Jake Paul, I don't know. The rematch gonna be good, man. I can't even really call a winner of the rematch because this fight, I feel like this fight was closer than advertised. And if Woodley just let his hands go a little more, then I feel like he'll get caught. But Woodley throwing his hands a little more could make him more susceptible to a counter. Because one thing about Jake Paul, I think he got underrated counter punching ability. The man Jake Paul being there counter punching, man. He'll sneak that right hand on you, and it'll be over, man. So that's my thoughts on it, though, man.
Yeah, I definitely gotta agree.
Any more thoughts on it?
No.
It starts at any time you like and ends in just a wink.